Today's guests are a couple of standout Our Redeemers athletes. Joining me now, it's the Hendrickson brothers, Matt and Zach, out of Our Redeemers. Guys, a lot of Knights fans have been watching your careers for a long time, whether it's basketball or if they're getting out in the Class B golf circuit. It's always a fun time to go and see you guys in action. Tell me a little bit about the first time that you guys had an opportunity to play organized sports together, the very, very first time.
Honestly, it was probably my senior year, like organized anyway.
That
we
late?
Played sports together throughout our whole life, just non-organized, kind of just put together by my dad or my mom. But definitely, yeah, my senior year definitely was our first organized thing that we got to play together.
So besides the organized thing, obviously, like if you guys weren't on the same team for a long time, there had to be some kind of memories just growing up together and playing games, whether you were wearing Knights jerseys or not. Zach, anything kind of stick out to you?
Yeah, just playing in our front yard, whatever, one-on-one, when I would always just beat them in basketball one-on-one, or going down to the Varden golfing together, just everything like that. That's what I remember.
Is that true, Matt? You lost every time, or what?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Was it
definitely not.
Has it, like, growing up, has it always been, like, you know, learning from the big brother narrative, or at what point did Matt, or what points do you guys take from each other's game, possibly?
Growing up, I tried toughening Zach up a little bit. I'd make him cry, but not like that. But I'd stick it to him a couple times, but no. Definitely, I tried showing Zach some things, but he shoots the ball a little better than me, so I tried, taking some tips from him, but I don't know.
Zach, do you tend to agree with that?
Yes, I definitely agree with that.
Well, I know you guys grow up going to Christian school, but what was some of the best trash talk still despite that?
I don't know if me and Zach really trash talked much, but, I mean, he's my brother, so he didn't really want to trash talk me because I could just beat him up. But I don't know. We didn't really talk too much trash. We'd say some things here and there jokingly, but it wasn't, like, serious or nothing.
That had to be pretty compelling. You guys are like a couple of flyweights going at it if you're actually, like, fighting or mixing it up.
Yeah.
Real athletic. Okay, so a couple of coaches that went to Our Redeemers, kind of like prominent if you follow Class B sports, was Jeremy Feller and Brody Bosch. What was it like being coached by both of those guys?
Two different styles of coaching that I got to experience. Brody, he was quieter. I guess Jeremy was too, but both focused pretty heavy on the defensive side of things, and then once we got pretty good at the defensive side of the game, they shift more to offensive. But I enjoyed my time at Our Redeemers when both of them were coaching. Mm-hmm. They both played a really big impact on my life outside of basketball. But it was fun.
What about being a part of a Region 6 basketball contender was special for both of you guys?
Zach, you want to answer this question here?
Yeah, I got it. The atmosphere, mostly, is just amazing, especially being with your brothers and your friends in a game that we all love is just special. And crowd getting loud, playing some people is just never gets old. Really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I asked Jake Stach from an administrative perspective, but I'll ask you guys too because you're the players. How does a school with a small student count like Our Redeemers compete in the solo varsity sports that you guys have, whether it's basketball or golf for you guys, or like the volleyball team being awesome? How has the group been able to play so well?
I think it's, we got a lot of heart there. We played with a lot of heart when I was my senior year. I think that played a big thing in how we got to the region championship game. A lot of people didn't think we would have made it there. But no, I think it also, Jake does a really good job of finding coaches that focus more on the long term than the short term. Obviously Brody, he ended up going over to Bishop Ryan, but I respect his choice in that. He loved the kids. It's just kind of hard, sometimes you got to close the door to open a new one. But no, I think definitely our athletic director, Jake, does a really good job of finding coaches that, impact the kids and really drill the game, and they love the game now. I don't know. It's just Jake does a really, really good job there.
You guys are giving Jake Stach way too much credit, by the way.
No, Jake's a great guy. I mean, we picked on him a lot, but he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. And it was a couple years back, probably my first year being here, about in 2015 or close to that, when our Redeemers went all the way to the state title game before, I think it was Four Winds Milwaukee that you guys had to go up against. What was that kind of experience like watching as fans growing up, and what were some examples that players on that team set, whether it was like, Josh Van Lith or, John Wrighton, guys like that?
I think Zach might have been a little too young for this, but I don't know. Just Josh, John, Ben, all them guys, they had such a good personality. I think they drove Feller a little crazy sometimes, but they all had a hard work ethic. And I got to be a student manager for that championship game, and it was probably the coolest thing I've got to experience. It's just the dome. I've never seen the dome that packed before.
Mm-hmm.
The top, all that was just filled. Every seat standing was filled. It was super cool. Even though they lost that game, I think that's something that comes up every time someone talks about, State B is that game.
When the B is at the dome, it's pretty full, like most years. But was there like an added vibe or electricity to it, given that it was the Minot team in it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's cool when the B is back in Minot, but it's even cooler when you got one of the two Minot teams representing your region. So I think it was really cool, and I think the community really enjoyed it too. I think there was a lot of people even from opposing schools from the surrounding area like the Lacs and all that came to support us, because it doesn't happen very often that you get a Minot team playing in the state championship when it's in your hometown.
I kind of have to, I drive narratives sometimes a little bit if I'm doing like the local sports on the news, but I'm curious, is Bishop Ryan like the obvious number one rival for you guys, or if you look throughout like the district and region, what games do you kind of get up for the most?
I'll take this one.
Mm.
I don't think Ryan really is a rival to us. It's obviously a really fun game to play, and it's always pretty emotional. But especially this upcoming year, it's going to be pretty emotional with the coaching exchanges and stuff. But I don't really know of any rival, I would say, of our school. Just every game is fun, and some are a little bit more intense than others, but I wouldn't call them rivalries.
Mm-hmm. Our Redeemers is just unrivaled. Got it. So in the springtime,
I don't know if we're unrivaled, but I don't think we can call Bishop Ryan our rivals now that we play football with them. But it's always fun to get to play against some guys.
Yeah, don't worry.
Push around a little.
Mm. We'll get into that here in a second here. So in the springtime, you guys are always going to be called out on the golf courses. Where have been like your favorite spots to play?
Like around the state, or like just around like here, or anywhere? Or?
Anywhere.
Ooh. I think so. I'll choose two. So the hardest course I ever played was me, my brother, and my dad. We all went to California one year, and we played Trump National out there.
I was gonna say
that was the hardest course I've ever played in my life. That was rough. But honestly, the most enjoyable course for me to play around, for anywhere, is probably rugby. It's just well set up. It's always in good condition. It's the pace is pretty fast, and I don't know. I just enjoy that course. It's small, but it's really challenging. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys been to Harvey at all? I hear there's a pretty big creek going through that one.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that course. I'm not very well there lately, but.
Yeah, my big takeaway from that is going to be you guys vote goes to Trump National, so that'll work.
Yeah.
So Zach, tell me a little bit about just this is kind of a skill building question. How has your putting improved since we spoke about you being named to the All-State team this year at the Barden, and then I beat you in the putting contest? Have you gotten any better?
Let's just say this: Zach's putting is absolutely horrific. Even before that, just so you know, it's bad.
No, it's better now. I've been practicing.
How much did that performance kind of motivate you to get better since then, considering how poorly it went for you?
Yeah, that's a big motivation. Definitely. Every day I wake up and think, Ben Barr beat me in a putting contest. So I need to go practice.
It makes me feel the worst. And talking about the new football formation that you guys have, Zach, how much did you like being able to show up on the Bishop Ryan-ORCS co-op this year compared to maybe playing 9-man in Berthold?
It's cool. Berthold was a great school, good coaches, and I loved all the players, but Ryan is just a different atmosphere. They're more, not to be rude to Berthold, but we're a little bit more prone to winning. And got used to that really quick, which is awesome. And it's amazing playing with all the guys and the amazing coaches.
Jake was saying it could also maybe be taxing for, like, you know, athletes having to travel out of town for practices a lot. How helpful was it to just stay in town to play this fall?
Yeah, that's a big one, too. That 30-minute drive after school was the worst thing about going to Berthold. But, yeah, the ride to Ryan is awesome. Never late to practice or anything. And, yeah, really, really good.
You're probably late sometimes. You don't have to lie about it.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, there we go. So let's be real here. Who's winning on the golf course if you guys are playing match play and then also in a game of horse?
Okay, definitely me on the golf course.
Right now, I don't know.
Definitely, no, I would still beat you.
Okay.
But in a game of horse, Zach, definitely, yeah. I think my shot's pretty broke. I mean, it was before, but I think
Yeah, always has been.
it's pretty bad now.
Yeah. So Zach is the sharpshooter of the group on the basketball court anyway, I guess. What are like the go-to horse shots to put Matt away?
Any shot.
Any shot, but over the backboard is the best shot, I think. Sitting on the back of behind the hoop and shooting it over the backboard.
Is that like directly behind the backboard, or are you just saying like one step away from a corner three? Because like one is way more harder than the other.
Directly behind the backboard. Cannot make that shot.
Okay, no, nothing cheesy. That's good to hear. So outside of our Redeemers, seems like you guys are big outdoor dudes. Who's the better wakeboarder, and who has the better fishing story, whether it's a truth or a lie?
Both here, me.
Matt's
I
got
played both of those.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give myself to surfing, though. I'm better surfing.
No.
Yes.
There's a little discrepancy here.
See, Zach, remember, I surfed and you were on my back. I don't think you could hold me up like that.
Yeah, but I'm doing 360s and you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and I'm doing backflips on a wakeboard and you're not.
Yeah, you already got that.
Zach, you strike me as a boogie boarder that's trying to get by in this debate. I think Matt has you here.
I definitely do.
He does.
More fish and catch more air.
What was like the best fishing catch that you've ever had, Matt?
Oh, man. Too many to count, honestly. Too many to count.
You throwing them all back, or you make them into like the talking ones that are mounted on the wall, or what?
Oh, catch and release, but some have to go to the pan, too, feed the family.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to take care of everybody that can't catch, right, or what?
Yeah, you got to take care of them. If you don't, then they're left on their own.
Speaking of things that are ridiculous, what's up with Jake Stach thinking that he could call out our Redeemers athletes in their respective sports and actually play well and beat them? He's past his prime. What's up with that?
Okay, Jake claims to have the most deadly jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. Trust me, gym class, I've seen it, and honestly, it was horrific. Like, top of the backboard, he'd shoot it, hit the top of the backboard, he'd call me out, yo, Matt, when are we going to play one-on-one? Scared, and I'm like, Jake, you just don't want it. I'm sure Zach feels the same way.
Yeah, there's no way he's taking that.
I guess he has to. If his shot's horrific, I guess he has to count on his conditioning above you guys. He can last to a game of 21 or what?
I think the last time we played a game of 21, Jake he had like 10 points and he was passed out on the baseline because he just couldn't make it the whole game.
Mm-hmm. I asked him, I think he competes better when he's like using like a Fisher-Price hoop, like the 6-footers that are made out of plastic. Do you think he has a better chance then because of his height?
Yeah, definitely. Or, those skills mini hoops or whatever when they're just on the top of the door frame, even though sometimes those are a challenge for him because he can't that. But I don't know. Jake just has a really big mouth, but he doesn't show.
Hey, it's
if you're watching this, I'm calling you out.
It's fun to learn, though, right?
Yeah, it's fun to learn. But.
Yeah, and it's not always about you guys as brothers in the family. Lauren as well. Great volleyball career for her. What sports is she for sure better at than you guys?
Probably just volleyball.
Yeah, just volleyball.
Ouch. Are we gonna have to have her on or what?
She's short, so Zach and I both tower over her, so she can't really shoot the ball. But
oh, okay. So can she
usually just back when we were little kids? If she start losing, she'd just start beating us up. Like that's a true story. Like there was times where I'd be running into my mom crying because she threw the ball in my face.
So you guys can claim basketball and golf, just so we're keeping track, and then she can claim volleyball and MMA by the sound of it?
Yeah, she'd be really good at that.
Okay, yeah, just stay out of the octagon. So you brought up the point about how against you guys she might have a tough time just being shorter, but then that sounds like a pretty even matchup between her and Jake Stach then.
I would put a lot of money on that, actually.
Put a lot of money on who?
That would be a fun one. I think we might have to schedule that. That would be really fun to watch.
Put a lot of money on who? Which side?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'd put money on Lauren because I'm taking Lauren too.
Oh yeah.
Once she gets mad, you just gotta watch out.
Yeah, I think it's a trap game for Jake. He's looking towards like Tyler Mack more so than Lauren Hendrickson. But shoot,
Yeah. I think the problem with Jake is his shooting form. He shoots and then his traps get in the way. So his form comes halfway, so it just stops right at his shoulder line. He can't get the full arc.
Jeez. How quick did it take for you guys to realize that he can't hang with you?
Right away.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as he came to right when he stepped out of his office wearing those shoes, I just knew.
Mm-hmm. I thought maybe you would have known like when you went on like a road game to Kenmare and he was out there and then you could see.
Yeah, that too.
Casey Kaiser can't help him or what? No. All right. Well, appreciate you guys' time here attending both the roast of Jake Stach here on the tail end of this interview and just going down memory lane for a little bit. I know Zach has a couple more Our Redeemers reps left in him, and we'll just keep following you guys and just try to measure up to each other, I guess, in this sibling rivalry. Okay.
We'll try. Perfect.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
See ya.